Science jerks. Science jerks. Science jerks. The rate of change in acceleration of science. Science jerks.
Welcome to the Science Jerks. I'm your host, Dave Chacho, and with me, as always, is your host, Robert Chan.
Hi.
And we were just having a deep intellectual discussion about astrology.
Deep.
Which you will have to miss. But what you don't have to miss is our returning guest, Haley Mancini.
Boom.
Yay. Oh, I thought I was a returning champion. I thought I had beat
Returning
out somebody else.
You won the podcast, Haley.
Not with the 2 out of 5, you're not. Hi, Haley Mancini.
Hello.
Where would people know you from?
They might see me on The Morning After on Hulu.
Ooh.
There just might be a morning after.
There's actually another web series just started called The Morning After on Broadway Video, and I'm like, ooh, how's that going to shake out? Because we've been on Hulu for 2.5 years now.
Is there another
Lawsuits.
spunky blonde girl who has a science background? Who's
Probably. She's probably
They're
doing better
a dime
than me.
a dozen
She's
in this town.
Wait, they found
She's
the
my
other
parallel
you from the
universe, Haley.
multiverse.
They were like, we like...
Get back to your universe, other Haley.
We like something about this girl, but she's a failure. Let's go find somebody else.
On the plus side, now you have a couch to crash on.
Yay! In a mansion.
So if you met yourself, never mind.
You also do voiceover work, and
Yeah.
you do stuff at I.O. here in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And Groundlings, and
Yeah.
you're all over the place.
Yeah, all over the place. Did some stuff at UCB that I went to Boom, and then I came back. And
Oh, that's right. Boom, Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago, which is not in Chicago.
It's in
Not
Amsterdam.
it.
Not
The
it is.
uninitiated.
Exactly.
What was your
Exactly.
favorite thing about Amsterdam?
Oh, biking everywhere.
Oh.
Especially after living in LA, because you get so scared to have 2 drinks and then go home. But in Amsterdam, it's like, fuck it. Can you balance? Kind of. Great. Get on your bike. Go.
Do you still bike out here now?
Not really.
It's kind of terrifying biking in LA.
I got hit on. I used to bike on the
You
west
got
side
hit
all the
on
time with
biking?
Yeah, I got hit on. Yeah, I got hit by a lady, and I
What kind of car?
a minivan. She felt really bad about it. She got it
yeah.
fixed, but I still was I was in a bike lane, and I was doing all the rules right, so it kind of spooked me a little bit.
I got bombed by another biker flying down a hill at 2 a.m.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Ooh.
See, I've been hit by a car twice, and so now, my response is, well, I'm invincible. Go ahead.
Right.
I do not care. I mean, I watch out, and I pay attention, and I didn't have a problem getting on a scooter because I was like, all right, I'm assuming that everybody is trying to kill me. At all times, somebody is looking to murder me, so you just get in that state, and it's okay.
And
You
I'm
just
glad that
accept
we
it,
now have the
yeah.
clip we're going to play at your funeral.
Yeah.
I'm invincible.
I'm invincible.
No, sadly, 1 week later, he was
Oh no.
beaten to death by his podcast
I've
partner.
lived a good life.
He was beaten to death, and you play a clip from him talking about biking.
For the record, he hasn't lived a good life.
This is 100% true. Let's do some science.
All right.
Exotechnology.
SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. We're stepping it up a notch, you guys. We are getting... You know what? It borders on science fiction. That's in some respects,
awesome.
That's how science has to
We're
progress.
finally getting serious about this fucking search. That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
It's
looking at
about
it.
time that
Very
we
cool.
fucking put our money where our search was.
Yeah, basically what happened is there's in an organization, the Templeton Foundation, a billionaire set it up to fund the big questions, like, is there intelligent life out there? It's kind of hard to fund that because it's expensive and it's long, and basically you're just sifting through numbers. So you're not going to get results really, for a long, long time. So
And also, we've been kind of focusing on finding planets and seeing if they're in the habitable zone, and that's all well and good. But this guy is proposing we start looking for other things.
Yeah, right. We've been looking for radio signals, and I think maybe they'll send us Beetlejuice and television shows or something.
Like in Contact.
Exactly like in
Like-
Maybe
Contact.
we'll get to meet our dads.
I'd forgotten how good your Jodie Foster was.
Thank you for having me on the show, guys. Just very excited to be here.
So when you met your dad in outer space,
It wasn't my dad. I thought it was.
So there are three groups that got funded by these guys, and basically what they're doing, again, is the reason why they're able to fund them for reasonably cheap is they're not building new telescopes to search for things. They're taking data that is already existing that just basically nobody has sifted through in this way. Like we have a bunch of numbers.
Trying to find the aliens in the data. They've been there the whole time.
No,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Right?
Did nobody check behind Sirius?
Is that a 3?
Sakes.
There's a 3 right there.
Okay, so the first two groups are looking for alien industry. Basically, they're looking for solar power.
Big spaceships, big projects that are out there.
Our power consumption needs are about 0.01% of the sunlight falling on Earth. So we could theoretically power everything just with the sunlight that hits us.
Right.
But in
For
1,000
now.
Yeah. In 1,000 years, if our power consumption continues to ramp up as it has been, then
And
we
Lord
need
knows,
more energy
I
than hits.
have a lot of power strips in my house, and every year I get a couple more.
My computer's
Yeah.
always
At this
on.
rate, and power strips, the sun is just not going to be enough.
I'm going to be impressed that you'll be alive.
Oh, I'm.
Well, that's the other thing that's going to take a lot of
big
power.
plans.
That's taking a lot of power to
It's a
give
big mech suit to keep you alive for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Yep, and I'm going to be in a different universe, hanging out on my couch.
On the couch.
What they're saying is that one of the ways that an alien race might power whatever is basically big solar panels in space, possibly even creating a Dyson sphere, which is,
My favorite thing in the world, or my favorite thing that isn't in the world that I
Yet.
want to be.
My favorite type of vacuum in the world.
Oh yeah, we're looking for giant vacuums in outer space,
well, there's one giant vacuum in outer space.
and it's everywhere.
It is. And it is.
Basically, the idea of a Dyson sphere is a species would surround a sun with like a globe and basically live inside the globe. So it'd be kind of like if there were mole people living right under us, but upside down, and with the sun in the middle, like that.
Wait a second, we were the mole people all along.
Ah!
But yeah, this is like, what was this guy's name? Freeman Dyson in the 60s came up with this idea, and basically just expanding on the idea that we're going to need more and more sunlight energy to keep going as a species. So we're going to have to spread out. We're going to have to put up solar panels, and the logical conclusion is at some point a civilization might put up so many solar panels they blot out the entire sun 360 degrees in all directions.
Simpsons
all
did
the way
it.
around.
Simpsons
Did they?
did it.
So-
Mr. Burns.
Oh,
Remember he blocked out the
Mr. Burns
sun?
blocked out the sun with a Dyson sphere.
In some galaxy out there, there is a Simpsons world
Oh,
where there
God,
is a
I hope
Mr.
there
Burns who has blocked out the sun.
I hope there is.
So yeah, the idea is that we're going to look at the data, and the visible light will be blocked off or will be partially obscured by these solar panels, maybe even covering the entire thing. But there's still waste heat that would escape. So we would see stuff in the infrared, but we wouldn't see the corresponding visual light, and that's how we would know that, oh, there's probably a Dyson sphere here.
There are brown dwarfs, right, that are sort of heat objects that we can't see visually.
Yeah, but
Right.
what they're hoping is
Are those Dyson spheres?
the infrared spectrum is going to show things like
What if the Dyson
certain
spheres were
wavelengths
just
will
everywhere?
get through.
Yeah.
Maybe there's billions of them and we just can't see them.
It's
It was-
possible, and that's why we're looking for them, because we haven't been looking for them. That's the
we
interesting
legit
thing about
think
this.
that's happening somewhere.
It's there's a strong possibility if there are aliens out there. It's almost certain that they have been around for much longer than us,
Right.
Because we've
And-
only been around for a couple thousand years.
We've only been around for, 10,000 years-ish, and at least as a technological species, and we can probably be in a position to make our own Dyson sphere in another 1,000 years or so. So you have to figure, like, if there's civilizations that have been around for 1,000,000 years, they should be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there may even be entire galaxies, because the thing is, if
Galaxy
you,
spheres? Yes.
Yeah.
well, no, just entire blotted. They're actually looking for entire blotted out galaxies
That are
because
all Dyson spheres?
If you can shoot out a colony ship, then eventually they'll be able to shoot out colony ships, and
You'll outgrow the
it's-
one sun, and you'll have to go to another sun
Yeah.
and do another one. That's
So like once you start doing that, it's more and more difficult for the entire society to collapse, because there's always going to be someone out there.
Right.
So odds are good, if such a thing has happened, they may have taken over basically or a significant portion of a galaxy. And we would see that sort of that infrared without the visible light.
Right.
So that's one of the things they're looking for. Another thing they're looking for is anything unusual.
Anything? Oh, all right. Just the anything unusual category.
Well,
other expenses
I'm
on your
kind of serious
taxes.
when I say Death Star, in the sense that like big ships, like there could be, which we wouldn't see visually, but we could see heat signatures from big ships moving around.
Yeah,
right.
When we're using Kepler, the planet searching telescope, basically we're seeing light, and then it gets a little bit dim, and it gets light again. Oh, something's passed in front of the star,
right?
And it's usually a large circular thing that's a planet. If we see something that's large and say rectangular, well, that's not a thing that generally happens in the universe.
The universe doesn't usually pop out rectangles.
Yeah. So like, oh, that's an anomaly.
Right.
Let's look for that. Let's look for any other big things getting in the way. I mean, because we sort of know what transits and star spots, flares, you know, all these things look like. So if there's any data, and that's, you know, basically
any blips in the radar of any sort,
throw all of those numbers in, all of the data that we've collected, and, you know, see what's weird, and then look at that.
Well, I'm glad they're doing that, because it always kind of drives me crazy when we do those the idea about like, is this planet habitable? Like, could aliens live on it? And it's like, well, I'm sure all those planets are, depending on whatever the aliens evolved and adapted to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we always think it has to do with our five senses. Like every other alien.
Well, when they talk about a habitable zone, it's like we know that we could survive there, but that doesn't mean other things couldn't survive.
Sure.
Even closer in or further away.
Right. I just don't like when they call it habitable.
Right.
When they just call it habitable, because it's like, well, habitable for us specifically, because I remember growing up, and even if you hear it on the news, I would think they were talking specifically about people, even when they weren't, because they're not being clear about it.
That's the problem, is that by the time it gets out to the general public, because I'm sure the scientists are thinking, like, okay, we've only got so many telescopes up there. Let's start with the stuff that we know, and eventually we'll get to everything else. But then by the time someone hears it, it's like, oh, we're looking for people that look just like us, and that's all we're doing up there.
Exactly.
And then
who live in a nice place that we can vacation in.
Right. Perfect. We'll borrow cups of sugar.
Another thing we're looking for is light changes on planets, because if a planet, like, say, when it's rotating around the sun and the dark side of it lights up, that would be evidence that there's a species there that uses electricity.
Or even you use the spectrums to see if there is something in the air, like pollution. Like if there are chlorofluorocarbons, things that don't occur naturally, like, oh, that planet is, the light bouncing off it is weird, and maybe
that planet has Republicans on it.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, pollution is probably not going to show up. Like, as much stuff as we've put in the air, it's not going to show up light years away. But it's possible.
So we have to pollute more? Is that what you're saying?
We got to pollute more. We got to make this.
We got to send out a signal. Well, no, we may use that for terraforming. People are thinking that we might try and use chlorofluorocarbons to terraform Mars.
It'll be the new Florida. Mars, the Florida of tomorrow.
The Florida of the solar system.
Let's start chucking our weirdos over there right now.
Yeah. And
too many
and our
old
spiders.
people here.
TV Olfactology.
April Fools on your April Fools, Google.
Whoa, they got April Fools.
You fools got fooled by your own April Fools. Yeah, Google had an April Fools joke that smell-o-vision, or actually searching the internet by smell. Google knows, yeah.
Google knows.
Well, it turns out it's kind of happening.
Because that's how fast technology is moving now.
It's moving
A
so
day later.
quickly.
The jokes of
April Fool's jokes of yesterday
are the realities of today.
So this is like ThinkGeek when they had that Tauntaun sleeping bag as an April Fool's joke, and people loved it so much that they're like, oh, okay, I guess we'll make it.
Just do that. Like, our culture is just now one big hipster culture where it's just like, we did this ironically. Oh, everybody likes it anyway. So this smell-o-vision.
Smell-o-vision, or the smelling screen, cleverly named, is invented by a Japanese fella named
Of course.
Haruka.
I was going to say.
Yep. Haruka Matsukura at Tokyo University of Agriculture and Technology. Wait, what? Tokyo University of Agriculture and Technology. Just those two things, though. Nothing else.
It's the Aggies of Japan.
Can I study math? No. Agriculture and
Wait,
technology.
Tokyo University of Agriculture and Technology. Twat?
Oh my God, it is. Twat.
Wow. I don't know that I feel comfortable going there.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Oh, man.
And their mascots are pussycats. Twat University
It's
pussies.
a coincidence. It's a coincidence. Just let it go. Let it go.
Stop calling us pussies. We didn't realize the acronym when we named the university.
You're right. We will replace the mascot with a box.
So, this fucking pussy, Haruka Matsukura, he invented the smelling screen, which is a computer screen or probably more likely an advertising sort of digital
What are you
screen.
going to advertise on a smell-o-vision?
Well, for one, the Japanese KFC that is in the picture.
God damn it.
What?
I know I would be
Is this
susceptible.
happening? Yeah.
Okay, no. Okay, I understand that. That makes sense because
Totally.
like when I'm at work and I hear somebody open a bag of chips, all of a sudden I'm like,
Yeah,
I
you
want a bag of chips.
want to get
Yeah.
in on that.
So
Or
but why would
when
you?
somebody pops buttery popcorn
Right,
and it
right.
fills the entire house
Right.
and you want
But
some?
America is the last country that needs another thing to pull us into a fatty food.
Yeah,
Well,
this
he's-
could become a nightmare.
Why would you buy that? Why would you put it onto your computer in the
Yeah.
first place?
Yeah, good point. You know what? I just really, but you know,
I don't really want to smell what's
I think-
happening in this porn.
I think my boyfriend would do it. I think my boyfriend would get it because
If-
he's like, he just loves whatever the tech thing is that's coming up
a new
next. He's
thing.
like, yeah, he'll be like, yeah, no, because we can smell it. It's like, I don't, it doesn't
Avengers
matter.
2. I want to smell Chris Evans' armpits.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a
Well,
thing.
it's really coming at me.
Man, superheroes smell terrible.
So yeah, why?
Yeah, why? What's
Well,
up?
the why is easy. But advertisers are going to go
Right.
Yeah, no.
batshit
Why
over
would
this.
somebody want it?
Well, for the exact reason that her boyfriend's going to get it because it's
They
a
want
cool
the
new
next big
technology.
thing, yeah.
How does it enhance anything?
So I mean, like maybe you're watching cooking shows or something.
Why is
would-
3D a thing? I mean, you could still just see it on a screen.
You're looking at pretty flowers.
You know what? Smell-o-vision comes last. When you're doing VR, creating worlds and stuff like that, you get the sight down, you get the sound down, you get the sense of touch down.
You know-
Only then do you bother with smell and taste.
John Waters did a movie with smell-o-vision. Remember in the, I think it was the 80s or 90s,
Yeah.
where he handed out scratch and sniff
Yes.
forms to everyone in the audience.
What
and
was the movie?
and the movie, I forgot what it was, but at some point it would say like sniff number 3 now.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So
Sure.
this is like movies are going to have this like fully
No.
immersive. It's going to
So
happen, and
You know,
you're going to.
It's going to
get
be
it.
amazing, and then nobody will go see a play. Where you can get all of these things in one room. You just have to go out to a play.
This is better than a movie. Why? So what they do, and there's a similar technology actually that you can get that I thought sounded pretty cool, which is an alarm clock that wakes you up by scent because you're-
Folgers will go for that one.
yeah, your brain is always processing smells. So you actually, if a strong waft of coffee smell floats over you, you'll wake up.
Right.
And so there's an alarm
big
clock
fart.
that, yeah, just like blows a fart in your face. I'm up.
The
Stop.
smell of 1,000 spiders. Let's go. To work.
Oh no.
What are 1,000
Are they-
spiders?
I
smell?
won't know. B,
But
don't ever want to know.
But what if they're veteran
You-
spiders?
Did you know if you scratch the hourglass and put your nose right up
Oh
to it?
God!
That's
Oh
freaking me
God!
out.
Oh my
That's
God!
freaking me
Oh, I
out.
can't handle it.
So they have these little.
Jesus.
The way they do this is with gel pellets that are full of spider scents
Sure.
or flowers, whichever
Or
you
fl-
prefer.
whatever.
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay. Good.
Are you a flower person or are you a spider person?
Don't fuck this up because you can't go back.
Okay.
And it's just a
Flower
little
spider.
gentle fan, and the pellets. I guess they heat the pellets up, and the little fan just wafts the air out, and
Okay.
then you have
Right.
fresh toast.
That's fine
Smell.
and wholly unnecessary. necessary.
Yeah.
Yep.
Again, I'm not against it in principle. It's just the last thing you do. Like, get me
Sure.
the other shit first.
You don't
put that into my house first.
You don't
You
need
have
to see
rumble
moving
seeds.
pictures on the TV either. It's
Yeah.
just something we like to see. We like to experience senses.
Yeah, but we didn't have moving pictures in our house before we had a fucking radio.
I did.
Radio first,
Yeah.
the ears first, then eyes, and then the rest of it as.
But
it
we do have,
comes.
there's rumble seats, at the
Yeah.
movie theater
There's rumble
now.
seats. There's
And again, it went in the proper order.
Yeah.
Movies that rumble.
I
then
mean,
smell.
I'm with you. I think it's ridiculous, and I also am sad to say that I'm sure a lot of people would go out and
lot of
fucking
people
buy
are gonna-
this.
further than buying it. I think we're going to see this on street corners, like on bus
Yeah,
stop
it's gonna
ads.
spray
There's-
in.
Yeah, they're going to be shooting like
God forbid you're
smells at
allergic
you.
to anything.
No.
Oh,
And in
what's
other news, sinus infections go through the roof.
You try to escape Axe body spray, but you can't escape.
Oh, Jesus. I'd love it. It'd be funny if they made all this, got it going, everyone loves it, then they're like, oh no, they're full of CFCs. We did it again. Why?
This is what happens when you fund Japanese scientists who work at TWAT.
Yeah.
You're going to get, this is going to happen.
Guaranteed.
Should have seen it coming.
Should have smelled it coming.
Hey.
Plutopsychobiology.
All right. We've had our ups and downs with President Obama, but he has announced a broad new research initiative. We'll be giving $100 million starting
To read
in
our
2014
minds.
to understand the human brain.
Understand.
He's trying to read our minds,
Map the
dude.
human brain.
understand.
Trying to take away our guns and read our minds.
All of these things will be possible once we fund the research to do it.
We'll get more into that, but that's what I'm skeptical about.
Basically, we're
Did we
gonna start
not
out.
just cut spending by $100 million trillion
But-
billion
Or
dollars?
could he have given it a little space between the drones thing and the we're going to map your brain?
First, we're going to explode it. Then we're
Yeah,
going to map.
exactly.
Here's what we're doing. We're going to be using that money to develop new tools to work on the treatment of Alzheimer's, epilepsy, traumatic brain
You have
injury,
it.
that sort
Yeah.
of thing. Oh, God, no! Please, fund it now. Fund it now. It's intended to create a paradigm shift, basically.
It's intended-
Let's just, like the Human Genome Project,
Right.
which was just this massive undertaking to map the human genome and then see what happens. We're going to map the brain.
Map the brain.
We're going to get new tools to research the brain. And, I mean, a lot of it is just for pure research, which is the sort of thing that gets shit on a lot, especially when we're hard up for cash.
Right.
Which is to say, most of the time,
Right.
there's always something, and there's always some asshole
Always
like,
some southern
why are we
senator.
going to the moon when we should be feeding the bloody-blahs at home? And we
Yeah.
just,
We
there's
should be
always
taking
something-
rights away from gays and women instead
Yeah.
of spending money on this science.
Exactly.
We've got better things to do with our time. I thought you said, by the way, we should be taking rats away from. And I was like,
All
for
gays
the
and women have-
testing? Is that-
Too many rats.
Take the rats away so that we can
Time the rest of us got our
gays
rats.
are hoarding the rats.
lasers into them.
Yeah, we got to shoot lasers into these rats.
And the thing that most people don't ever think of is that it's not like we just said, let's cure AIDS and put all of our money into curing AIDS, and eventually we're right on the verge of curing AIDS.
Right.
There's a shit ton of other things that need to be done first so that you have the grounding and have done the footwork to be able to cure AIDS.
Oh, yeah.
And
Right.
a lot of that is studying shit that has nothing to do whatsoever
Right.
with AIDS.
You got to get up underneath it.
There was there were some people that
Lift
were
her up and look at the chassis. Kick the tires a little bit.
the government funded a study on duck penises.
What?
Because why not? The actual study was
This took a
called-
weird turn.
Yeah, boy, our scientists really are fucking perverts.
I think we're learning a little bit about mapping Chan's brain right now.
Yeah.
Duck
I-
penises.
I make some connections. The original study was called "Sexual Conflict, Social Behavior, and the Evolution of Waterfowl Genitalia." It was funded back in 2009.
That's a practical joke.
Oh my god.
No, duck penises are super weird.
What do
birds,
they do?
Most birds don't have penises. They just lay eggs and inseminate them, and everything's cool.
They have one hole that they shoot everything out
Oh,
of.
that's how they stay monogamous. And one's not pressuring the other for sex all the time.
I guess might as well stay with
Quit
it.
poking me in the back. Wait a second. Our species doesn't have penises. What is that?
Ducks still kept their penises from their ancient reptilian days.
Oh.
And basically what's
Lucky.
evolved is
A lot of ducks buying big cars.
no, ducks don't need big cars. They got crazy ass corkscrew penises.
like the pigs and stuff?
Yeah.
They'd be buying bottles of wine.
Yes. And getting them duckies drunk. But they evolved corkscrew penises, and the female ducks have evolved corkscrew vaginas that go the other way. The
counter.
idea being is that one of the chief methods of mating in the duck world is rape. Lots and lots of rape.
Oh.
So the genitals have formed to perpetuate it on the one hand and prevent it on the other. So
Take back the night, ducks.
So they got to do it upside down if they want to get it in?
well, no. What happens is if the female duck wants it, then the vagina's loose.
You're going to
penis
say,
going
like,
fine.
she changes the direction of her vagina.
Yeah, she did.
Oh, just give me a second. I just got to...
Pull it out, flip it
Wait.
around.
I just got to flip
if
this thing over.
it's shaped like a corkscrew, then that means that she must be able to lay her eggs out with amazing accuracy, right? Because it's barrel.
Like a rifle
She has like a rifle. She can shoot that shit out.
So, I mean, so it has a lot of interesting implications for, a wide variety of
So we still talking
fields.
about the human brain?
Yeah, what's this?
What I'm saying is that there was a lot of right-wing, people complaining like, oh, we're shutting down all sorts of government departments, but we can afford to look at duck penises, right? And the thing is that science doesn't work that way.
Right.
You don't get to just study the stuff you want to. Granted, this is coming from someone who always plays civilization by putting all of his money into science, but I get to Alpha Centauri more often than most, I feel. You have to just let science do science. And then as you start to do interdisciplinary studies, as the chemists start talking to the physicists and the biologists start talking to engineers, then you find answers from various different places.
We get it. We're on your side. Fun science.
Although
But-
some might argue that you get the same level of technology and discoveries brought about through military funding.
Well, here's the other thing I found.
At least so many people I know in the middle of the country where I'm from will pose that argument.
Let's just wait for them to study the brain, and then we'll go and we'll take it from them.
I will say that if you put all of your money into science, then your civilization can have tanks, while the other civilizations still have the archers, and then you can just then you bulldoze and
take their granaries.
right?
Play some civs.
What's up? So basically,
The ICBMs will come with time.
So
That's
we need to
do
build
end
some
up with the
pyramids, is what I'm
ICBMs,
saying.
you will be run over. You'll be run over, crushed by progress.
I know those hanging gardens took forever to build.
They were worth it, though. So
They
pretty.
totally were. They're so beautiful.
It's time for a quiz.
It's time for a quiz. We're back once again with Quizmeister Buck, bringing the pain. We only got 2 out of 5 last time, so we're hoping to do better.
What's up, Buck Ball? You got some better questions for us this time around?
I do. They're harder and at the same time easier.
Oh,
Exactly
fabulous.
what we asked for. We want a challenge that we are up to. So just try to hit that bar.
Well, I'm going to.
All right, ready?
Question 1.
What animal travels in gaggles?
somewhere. Yeah,
I'm going to say
Boom.
geese.
You are correct.
Dave's like flamingos, and Dave's right somehow because all of his were right last time.
No.
Specifically.
We know our collective nouns. We got
Hey,
this.
Yeah, we got this. I've been practicing.
I've been practicing with my murder.
Of course. Hey.
You too.
You and your murder. Always with the murder.
Question 2.
What is the medical term for cancer of the blood?
Leukemia.
Leukemia.
It's leukemia.
All right. 2 in a row. I told you.
All right.
Killing
They
it.
are easy.
This is the dummy.
I mean,
Yay.
they're really
We
exactly
good
as
at
hard, and we're just
smart.
really smart.
Question
Okay.
3.
Who was the first American in space?
Yuri Gagarin.
American?
I'll give you a hint. It's not me.
Not Buck
Wait.
Ball.
John
80s, I spent a lot of time.
Glenn.
John Glenn?
Question mark?
That sounds right.
It sounds like a thing that might have happened.
Now, John Glenn is a person. I can confirm that.
Chuck Yeager? No.
I know, but he broke sound barrier.
Yeah. Did he go into space?
I don't think so.
I think John Glenn sounds right, man.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds right
Let's
enough.
do this.
We good with John Glenn?
Mm-hmm.
Because no, you're not. It's Alan Shepard.
Son of a bitch. Son of a
we did
bitch.
not know that.
Yeah.
Dad, don't listen to this. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
Alan,
we all should feel
Alan
terrible
Shepard,
about
don't
that.
listen to this.
Oh my God.
we
That's
knew that.
embarrassing.
What the hell did John Glenn do?
We did
He
another
invented the
do
car.
something
Oh,
first?
so much fucking space questions. We're getting like the non-space questions. It doesn't have to do with a satellite or Alan Shepard.
We're more big picture scientists rather
Yeah.
than specific detail oriented.
All right.
Okay.
Question
Calvin.
4. Question 4.
How many land miles are there in a league?
It's not 20,000, guys.
I thought it was just 20, but I'm.
20 does sound right. It's something like that.
Feel like it's smaller.
I don't know. I'm from a landlocked state.
They don't teach you that kind of stuff in the Midwest.
Here.
20 sounds like a reasonable guess to me.
Yeah, it's whatever it is. It's going to be a guess.
Yeah, 20.
20?
Sure, 20.
We good?
Yeah.
Like 2.
20? It's 3.
Yeah.
I was thinking. I think.
Don't know shit about
I
it.
think it was like around 2 or something like that, but I couldn't.
You ready for this one? Let's
do this.
The final one.
This is
the
number 5.
Wait,
baby.
where are we?
bonus.
How many do we
We'll
have?
get to that.
We
We'll
have-
get to
We
that.
should
What's
get a
question
bonus
5?
4 out of 10
Do
or
question
What's
5.
the most abundant element in the sun?
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen.
At least we got something. Criminy.
Yeah, you
I
got
mean-
hydrogen. It was right.
We should, look, and as long as it's not who the fuck went to space, then we're fine. What? Give us. You got these other ones.
Yeah,
Holmes.
give us
You want some makeup questions?
Give us that question again.
Okay.
We did only get 3 out of 5. All told, we got 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10.
But you know what?
Science.
Everybody, science.
Thank you, Quizmeister Buck. Where can they find you if they were looking for you?
I am on Twitter at Buck Baller, BuckBaller, and I also have a Tumblr account. It's me, sometimes you, all one word. Thank you for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for coming, Buck.
Singularity Watch.
We talked about the Turing test. We've talked about AI. We've talked about the proximity of artificial intelligence passing the Turing test.
Yeah, they've been getting close.
I'm thinking we're getting pretty close, and this is going to be a huge milestone.
Is it the annual test that they do where they
I'm not familiar with this.
The Turing test?
What
So
is
the
it?
Turing test, Alan Turing, a scientist about 100 years ago, came up with the idea that at some point a machine might get so complicated that it, for all intents and purposes, can't be distinguished from a human.
Oh, I know what this is. Okay, yeah,
And so the
I just
test
didn't know that
is,
was the name of it.
Like,
Okay.
basically, if you're sitting at a computer terminal and you're having a chat with somebody, if the person on the other end may be a bot or it might be a human, and if it's a bot and you can't distinguish it from a human,
Yeah.
then it passes the Turing test. And
I believe the threshold now, because they do this thing once a year.
Watson.
yeah, Watson was the IBM computer that won at Jeopardy.
Yeah.
He can't pass the Turing test.
No, because he's just a nerd. He can't interact with anybody.
Yeah, to be fair, if you were talking to me over chat, you would be hard pressed to tell if I was a robot or not.
What is Bangladesh? Oh, Watson. Will you
Watson.
ever learn human
Watson's just a human with
compassion?
Asperger's.
What is Asperger's?
Yeah, they have. There's a person who's chatting, and there's either Confederate or a robot on the other end, and they can't tell. And if a computer,
You're talking about the
threshold is-
Leibniz Prize is the yearly competition
yeah.
that they have for basically for programmers to try to pass the Turing test.
and the threshold is what, 30%? If 30% of the people who are asking questions and talking with it think that
Are
it's human,
fooled?
yeah,
I think it has to be higher than 30%.
I don't think so. It's a pretty low number, and obviously we've been getting closer, but we haven't hit it.
I mean, the Leibniz Prize is the Turing test sort of as a game, but it's getting to the point where we might be, on the verge of computer AIs passing this test. And there's two reasons for that. One is just vast amounts of raw data. One way to pretend to be human or to learn about the world is just collecting huge resources of data. And the other is the algorithms for processing the data. We're getting more and more intelligent about the algorithms we're using to search for patterns and be able to answer questions, come up with original solutions that weren't in the data set to begin with. Those are the two main cogs in the wheel that's going to get
Right.
us.
They can't be creative.
Yeah, computers right now, they can't think outside the box that they're trapped in.
To be fair, I know a lot of humans who are not creative and can't think outside the box.
That's true.
They still use, that's what she said, completely unironically.
God.
I don't think it's that far out.
That's a show.
There are plenty of humans who couldn't pass the Turing test.
Yeah, it's true. That is very true. That would be a funny
That is true. In
challenge
fact,
to them.
there's a great This American Life about people who pose as computers in the Leibniz Prize competition.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's-
I was wondering. That was
and-
the first thing that comes into your head is like, who's the person that's like
There-
pretending to be
There's
the
a
robot?
book by one of those people. It's called The Most Human Human.
Yes.
Because there's kind of a conversation between those people, those Confederates. If someone on the other side thinks that you, the human, is a computer,
Right.
that's gotta
Basically,
hurt.
his job is to
Yeah.
convince the person he's chatting with that he's human, and he doesn't always succeed. Like, that's just how it is. People sometimes don't believe you're a human. I know a lot of the people that I text at 3 in the morning don't believe I'm human.
I know a lot of people that talk to me face to face have their doubts.
Yeah,
Still
I mean,
haven't quite figured it
But
out.
Dave, I understand it with Dave because all of his texts at 3 in the morning are like, log on to Zappos to get 10% off.
I'm just trying to have a conversation with you. Man.
I mean, I can't think that that's a person.
I think the Turing test itself is an amazing. I mean, this is how we know other humans are
Yeah.
human. We don't look inside their brain to see that they're thinking. We have conversations with them and decide that they're humans.
See, again,
And
we're
this-
merging with the robots.
Yeah,
We're
and this
becoming
opens
more
up.
like them, and then they're becoming more like us.
This is a whole can of worms here because if your iPad can have a conversation with you that's exactly as intellectually stimulating as a human, can you shut off your iPad? Are you murdering it then at that point?
Or will you
If
fall
it
in
runs
love
out of
with it?
batteries, can you take it to bed with you? These are questions
Somebody would. Somebody definitely would.
Have you, Dave?
Yeah.
Dave?
Dave.
see.
Dave. Oh, this is perfect.
What are you
iPads-
doing, Dave?
Hey.
iPads at this point in time cannot say no. They can't vocalize their wants or desires, so I have to tell them what their wants and desires are.
That's our show.
And that's our show. Thank you very much to Haley Mancini.
Oh, thank you guys. That was really
Haley.
fun.
That was so fun.
You were
Science.
fantastic.
No, you guys were.
So, where can people find you?
Go to Hulu.com. I'm there. Or you can go to YouTube and check out Mondo. I'm in a whole bunch of their shows and, I don't know, around town.
You're on Twitter?
Yeah. Oh, at Haley Mancini. That's right. Check me out. I'm usually in a fight with American Airlines on there. So
Oh,
check
yeah?
it out. Oh, yeah.
No, that is, I love that Twitter allows us to do that.
Yeah.
Did they
Get a
fight back?
measure of power.
Did you just wake up and American Airlines like, what are you going to do?
They might as well have. They said they were like, go to this link when your flight has finished. And it was like a link to their generic complaints page. I was like, thanks, guys. Anyway.
They probably looked at your follower count and was like,
Yeah, not
a couple
impressive
more
enough.
thousand, then maybe we'll talk.
Exactly. So that's the goal. Follow me, please, so I can win this
Then
fight.
we'll send you the real link.
Yeah, the real complaining.
You can find us at thesciencejerks.com or sciencejerks.com.
Follow us at The Science Jerks.
We're on Facebook. Are we on Tumblr?
We're on Amazon. We're on Audible.
Buy stuff. Do that thing
Go-
where
if
you
you-
just click on the
Go to
Amazon
our
link and
website,
then
click through.
buy. We get a little bit and like it's cool.
Oh, yeah, and our Cafe Press store.
We got a mug with our faces on it. Because why
Yay!
wouldn't you want that? We will be back next week with brand new guests and brand new stories.
Woo!
And yeah.
Who knows what the future holds for the Science Jerks?
Science.
Until then,
The spirit knows.
The balcony is
The
closed.
shadow knows.
The
What is the answer to the question? Did you say the balcony is closed?
I did.
Pour
Rest
one
in
out.
peace, man.
Thanks for listening.
2 thumbs up.
We've talked
Spinning
about.
newspapers.
Oh, bye.